Alright guys, I was not planning to not have any videos this weekend. It just worked out that way. First of all, because there was a fast day. I do happen to be religious, so I didn't have one for Saturday night or Sunday, kind of because I wasn't in the mindset for it. And then since then I've been a bit busy. So I'm going to talk about just one topic. I don't know how long it will be. I don't think that this will take too long, but you know how it works. So Rand Paul, of course, somebody who I've probably supported for, probably since he got into the Senate. Rand Paul has been campaigning to revoke the security clearances of James Clapper, John Brennan, James Comey, and I think Michael Hayden is the other guy's name, of another CIA leader, the CIA former CIA director, I think. Look, I think that is it kind of makes sense if you think about it. After somebody is serving in an intelligence agency and several years later, how long are they supposed to be having these security credentials? Technically, in the modern era, hypothetically, somebody could contract Alzheimer's or something, have some sort of mental breakdown after their service. You don't know what the hell is going on. So, and if you're looking at the past week or so, in general, it could be the case could be made that that's already happened to John Brennan, who's basically ranting like a madman, and it's clear this is somebody who was political when he was serving in the CIA, and he has become even more so since leaving the CIA. And that's one of the reasons why I think it's more justification for basically dissolving some of these agencies and starting from the ground up. The CIA was, even before Brennan, was an agency out of control. It's an agency that's basically a pit for money. They get us involved in all sorts of shenanigans overseas. You can look back across their entire history, and there are little threads that the CIA gets involved in that are just unaccountable. The Bay of Pigs invasion, for example. People still like to point fingers at each other over who was responsible. The Bay of Pigs kind of symbolizes our history, with the CIA. But, well, look at it this way. How many operations has the CIA mounted that did not result in severely adverse results? We had the whole Mujahideen war in Afghanistan in the 80s, which, at the time it sounded logical. But, those people are unaccountable. You're basically giving money and arms to these people who you can't control. And the CIA has done it over and over and over again. Now, the security clearance issue currently is kind of a marginal topic within the CIA itself. There's an issue here where you see these people, they've not only made the CIA more political than ever, not that it never was political, not that it wasn't political before, but it's become almost like these people are saying, well, we are part of we are part of the order that is going to keep America decent and prevent it from slipping into a dictatorship. Well, that's not the way the CIA has behaved abroad in history. The CIA, whether obviously I'm not somebody who would have supported the Allende regime in Chile back in the 70s, but the CIA intervened there and helped impose a military dictatorship for a number of years. Now, I have people, and I know exactly, the user who follows my channel knows it. I'm talking to him, who believed that was the right thing to do. But I'm not talking about whether that was the right thing to do. The CIA can never make the case, based on its history, that it is defending democracy. It never has, and it never will. The CIA has always been an agency that basically undermines democracy, that finds ways to manipulate it and sway it in order to get the results that it wants. Now, during the Cold War, you could make some sort of case that it was the needs of the time or something. If you want to make that argument, I'm not trying to relitigate the Cold War. Okay, you and the Howard Zinn people can fight that out. I don't care. Okay, but regardless of that, John Brennan was part of that agency. In fact, he did vote for the Communist Party in the 70s and then joined the CIA. So exactly what are his convictions? What are his beliefs? It's hard to tell. This is a snake. This is basically somebody who found a career as a professional liar. Okay, and Jennifer Rubin decides to say this is a sickening example of content discrimination, violation of First Amendment. I hope they do it so the victims can sue. You're not a victim if you're getting your security clearance revoked. You're not a victim if you the security clearance is not a right under the Constitution. Security clearance is a privilege granted to people in certain positions within the military and other branches of government. And those who possess it should know that comes with an obligation. The First Amendment does not entail with it many things that you can get in trouble for, but a security clearance does. Okay, there's a clear difference. In fact, it's almost the opposite of having the First Amendment right. It's a further obligation, and what these people are doing is just they're making a farce out of what it means to serve as a member of an intelligence agency. If there was anything legitimate about it at all before, our intelligence agencies have been so out of control and unaccountable that it's almost as if these people are they're the they're the ones who are clinging to the life rafts of the Titanic that they've sunk. Brennan and Comey and and James Clapper. They've irreparably harmed the reputations of all those agencies. The only thing that's keeping them alive in the public sphere is the fact that they've all got, well, except for Comey, but most of them have gotten jobs in the corporate media with MSNBC or with CNN. And with Comey, why is he not working for one of those news agencies? Because he was the one that the Democrats also blame for what's been going on now. Because they believe if it were not for Comey, that Hillary Clinton would be president now. So, with the exception of him, they're all working for major news agencies. But all of them, including Comey, have these books that they've put out trying to, make the case, oh, we had all this integrity and we've spent all these years trying to keep America safe. Yeah, right, man. You're the type of people who have kept America hated. You're the type of people who have kept America kind of in the eyes of the world as this country where, we've created a somewhat free society here, which they're trying to basically encroach on and eventually eliminate. While around the world, they've helped other countries become less free. Okay, and just to accentuate this, because we can't go on too long tonight. They're doing this. They're doing this bizarre protest and outcry against revoking Brennan and Comey and Clapper's security clearances, while Julian Assange is probably going to be handed over to the police and put on trial for charges that I believe were just basically concocted out of nothing. I'm not as knowledgeable about Julian Assange as some of the people in the audience might be, but this is a person whose First Amendment rights, first of all, he technically doesn't have First Amendment rights as a non-U.S. citizen, but this is an international journalist whose his freedom of movement and his basic human rights have been violated for the past few years due to a number of charges that have been discovered to have been, trumped up, if you pardon the pun. So, I think we're living in an era where the weak, the cruel garner all the sympathy, and the weak get shit on all the time. There's no nice way to say it. We're really in a problematic state right now, and I'm just not seeing a change for the moment, unless, of course, Donald Trump changes the tune, possibly pardons Julian Assange. But I don't know. I don't even know if. I think some of the charges don't even have to do with the U.S. I think some of the charges are from other countries, such as Britain, and I believe some of his charges previously were Sweden's, although I thought those were dismissed. So anyway, have a good night, and I hope to join you sometime during the rest of the week.